All right, let's dive right in. We're going to talk about how to go from just taking simple snapshots to creating real, actual photographs. It's all about moving past just pointing and shooting and really learning how to build an image with purpose. You know the feeling, right? We've all been there. You see this incredible scene, a perfect moment, you pull out your camera, you take the shot, and the picture is just, it's flat. It's missing that magic you felt. It's super frustrating, but believe me, the fix is way simpler than you might think. And this right here is the biggest secret of this whole explainer. You really don't need to go out and spend thousands on new gear. The real power, the game changer, comes from understanding the basic language of photography, and that language is all about light. So, to get started, let's just demystify the tool itself. Forget all the complicated buttons and menus for a second, and just think about what a camera really is, at its core. That's it. That's really all it is. Every single camera, whether it's the one on your phone or a top-of-the-line professional one, is just a sealed box. It's designed to do one thing and one thing only: let light come in through a hole and record whatever it sees. Pretty simple when you think about it that way, right? And, this simple idea has been around forever. It started ages ago with something called the camera obscura, which literally means dark room, where people realized that a tiny pinhole could project an entire scene onto a wall. That idea eventually evolved into capturing the image permanently, and now, today, we capture it instantly on a digital sensor. The tech has changed like crazy, but the basic principle of the light box, it's exactly the same. Okay, so if our camera is just a light box, how do we actually control the light that's coming inside? Well, that's where the three most important settings in all of photography come into play. And this isn't about memorizing a bunch of numbers. It's about learning your creative controls. These three right here, aperture, shutter speed, and ISO, they're the big three. They all work together in a delicate balance to create a perfect exposure. Once you master these, you've officially left the world of automatic snapshots behind and entered the world of full creative control. So, let's break them down. First up is aperture. The best way to think about this is that it's just like the pupil of your eye. When it's dark, your pupil gets wider to let more light in, right? The aperture in your lens does the exact same thing, but its power goes way, way beyond just controlling brightness. And this is where it gets really interesting, creatively. So, check out these settings. A wide aperture, something like f2.8, lets in a ton of light. And, this is a little weird, I know, the smaller the number, the wider the opening. This is what gives you that beautiful, creamy, blurry background that makes portraits just pop. On the flip side, a narrow aperture, like f16, lets in less light, but it keeps everything sharp, from the flowers at your feet to the mountains in the distance. It's perfect for those big, sweeping landscapes. It's a creative choice, not just a technical one. Next up, we have shutter speed. Now this one is pretty straightforward. It's simply how long the camera's eye stays open to the light. But the amount of time you choose completely changes how you capture anything that's moving in your shot. And this just shows you the creative power perfectly. A super fast shutter speed, say 1/500th of a second, will freeze a speeding car dead in its tracks, making every detail crisp and sharp. But if you use a slow shutter speed, you can turn the headlights of that same car into these beautiful, artistic streaks of light. It's two totally different feelings. One freezes a moment in time, and the other shows the flow of time itself. And finally, the third piece of our triangle is ISO. The easiest way to think about this one is as an artificial brightness boost. It's what you use when there's just not enough light around you. But, and this is a big but, this boost comes with a catch. So on a bright, sunny day, you want your ISO as low as it can possibly go, like ISO 100. That'll give you a super clean, beautiful, detailed photo. But let's say you're inside a dim room at a party. Cranking that ISO up to 6400 might be the only way you can get a picture that isn't just a black square. The trade-off? You start to see digital noise or grain in the image, which can make it look a little less clean. It's a constant balancing act between getting the shot and keeping it looking great. Okay, so we figured out how to harness the light. We've got the technical skills down. Now it's time to move on to the art. Where do you actually put things in the frame to make the photo look good? And this is a huge question. This is what separates a technically correct photo from a truly great one. It's about shifting your mindset from just documenting something to actually composing a scene that tells a story. And luckily, there are some classic guidelines that can help us out.
The most famous one, by far, is the rule of thirds. Just imagine a tic-tac-toe grid drawn over your screen. The idea is, instead of sticking your subject smack dab in the middle, you place them on one of the lines, or even better, right where two of the lines cross. It sounds so simple, but it instantly makes your photos feel more balanced and professional.
So why does this one little trick work so well? Well, it encourages our eyes to wander around the image instead of just getting stuck in the center. It creates a natural flow, a sense of balance, and just makes the whole thing feel more dynamic and intentional. It's a small change with a massive impact. Another really powerful technique is called framing. This is where you look for elements that are already in the scene that can act as a natural frame for your subject. Maybe you're shooting through a doorway or using some overhanging tree branches. This adds an amazing sense of depth and context to your shot, and it really helps draw the viewer's eye right where you want it to go.
So, how does this all come together? We've got the technical control over light, and we've got an artistic eye for composition. Now, let's put them together to capture not just an image, but a real story.
The absolute legend of photography, Henri Cartier-Bresson, he had a name for this. He called it the decisive moment. He described it as that one fleeting instant, that fraction of a second, where everything, the action, the light, the composition, all lines up perfectly. It's the absolute peak of the story unfolding in front of you.
And that's the ultimate goal, isn't it? All that technical practice with aperture and shutter speed, all that time you spend training your eye to see composition, it's all in service of one thing: being ready for that one perfect, decisive moment when the story happens right in front of your lens.
And that's what this all boils down to. You have the tools now. You understand the basic language of photography. The only question left is, what do you want to say with it? What stories are out there just waiting for you to capture them?